Alright, so today's is about the different methods that you can train in order to build muscle faster than you currently are, because most people train in the one way of doing one or two warm-up sets and then packing the weight up till they're comfortable at what it is and as a heavy range still. But obviously over time your body gets used to the stress that you're putting it under and the routines of which you're training in. So like machine to machine and like the how often and how soon you're going up in weights and things like that. And that's one reason that you'll not get next day soreness. Other reason could be such as not training hard enough, or like not enough effort. But over time anyway, as you like going through gym, so it might happen after a couple of months, maybe a year, next day soreness might calm down. Maybe not next day soreness, but the rate of which you're adding muscle mass definitely decreases, and there's not a way to stop that happening. That just happens in general because, like I said in an older video, you get newbie gains because your muscles haven't had to do that as much before because you're new to the gym, so they just tear a lot and then they add up a lot, which is where the mass comes from. But anyway, so the first way people train is they'll have the two warm-up sets and then they'll go up in their weight till it's heavy, but they can get 12 reps. And the thing is, with reps, a lot of people misinterpret what I said. You don't do your sets up to 12 and then stop. You aim for 12 and then, like, because I said the rep range between 8 and 12, right? So what you want to do is aim for 12, and if you don't get it, that's fine. If you get above 8, then stay where you are and keep doing it. If you get below 8, then drop the weight a little. Like you're aiming to not hit 12 pretty much, really, because if you hit 12, then you need to go heavier. Or if you struggle like hell to get that 12, then you know you've picked the right weight and you're going to do it again. So anyway, that's like a normal training method. That's the most average one, the basic idea. The one that I like to do sometimes, and what you want to do is you'll want to switch between the 5 so that your body keeps growing to different things so that it never gets used to one thing, because that's one way to just trick it into growing a lot faster. But so slow eccentric lifting. So what that'd be is you'd go lighter than usual. So if you were to do a press with like 20 kg, you might go down to 16. But what you'll do is, instead of just going up, down, you'll go up and you'll come down like pathetically slow, because that is how the fibers tear pretty much from the flex. And time under tension is one way, like one factor that increases your muscle mass is time under tension, and doing slow eccentric throws so much more time under tension into your training, and that's just going to give you so much muscle so much faster than you would have been from just doing like effortless just lifting, like going down and struggling that entire time. And still, for the 8 to 12 rep range, that's a lot of effort, strength, and it's going to add a lot of muscle. Like, you'll get out of your training what you put into it. So yeah, you want to make sure you're always flexing though. Like, don't make it easier for yourself and go light and relax down. You want to go heavy and you want to try and fight it down. Like, you want to let it go down obviously, but as slow as you can do it. So that's slow eccentric training. Alright, so now you want to do what Arnold talked about once. It's called shock training. So instead of having warm-up sets, so let's say you warm up with 10s and then you'll move up to 16 then 20 and do your sets like that. What he would do is probably start off heavier, so he might go to 22. Obviously he would do more light, but as an example, so he'd go straight to 22, do what he can, and then without having a break, as soon as he can't rep with that anymore, he'll drop down to the next thing. So he'll drop from 20 down to 22 to 20. Rep those out as many as you can do, and then to 18, and then probably down to what he would warm up with. And then what you'll find is you'll warm up with 10s, maybe, it depends for everyone, like, but you'll warm up with that weight, so you warm up weight, and you can do it like it's nothing. But after you do this shock method, your usual warm up weight feels like 22s, if you know what I mean. Like, it feels a lot heavier than it would, and that's because you shocked the muscle, and that is what Arnold swears by from his bodybuilding days. So with shock training, just start off of what you usually think you can lift the most. So If you think you can lift 20 at the most, start on 20. Maybe 22 if you feel like pushing yourself, but just make sure you're careful, obviously, because I don't want no blame if you get hurt in the gym. Alright. Anyway, so after that one, you've got volume, which is what Simeon Panda likes. So he is between the 8 to 12 rep range. He likes that because that is the best range for hypertrophy, which is what he trains for. But what he does is he'll do a stupid amount of sets, like most people do. They'll do 2 warm-ups, 1 warm-up set maybe, and then they'll do 3 to 4 normal lifting sets, but he'll do 2 warm-up sets and they'll do like an extra 6 normal sets. He likes a lot of volume. It's obviously that might work for him, might not work for you, might work for you, not others. Everything's different, that's why I'm going through all 5, but obviously it won't hurt to try. It's not going to harm you anyway. So volume is just literally just adding more sets. Not necessarily reps, because then you're doing endurance training, but more sets. And then the hardest one, I'd say, well, I say slow eccentrics harder, but this is called half rep. I don't know if it's called that, that's what I've called it. But so let's, as an example again for the press, so you go up and then you know that you come down, so you have that line that I talked about once, and you'll go halfway and then you'll go back down and back up. So wait. Alright, so you basically do a rep and a half, in a sense. Like it's kind of like pulsing. So you'll go up, down, and then up. So your first push wouldn't be all the way; it'd be halfway, and then up. Or with a curl, you curl up, curl halfway down, back up, and then down. It adds a lot of intensity to your training and time under tension, which, like I've already said, I'm sick of voice breaks, man. But like I've already said, that's just how you're gonna add a lot of muscle mass. But don't swap between them all too much. Just stick to one for a few weeks, then next one for a few weeks. See what you like best. Make that your main one maybe. And then just when you're getting bored of the gym, because this is the thing with motivation, if you get bored of the gym, you need to change your routine quick. Otherwise, you're gonna stop going. So this is one thing you can do to stay motivated, but I'll make a separate video on that if anybody wants it. So yeah, so quick sum up. So you got your warm-up sets with going up in weight, everyone does. You've got your slow eccentrics, come down as slow as you can. Then you've got shock training, so start heavy, work down with no rest. Volume training, multiple sets, and then the half reps. But with the shock training, you don't go stupidly heavy, because that's like you're just going to get an injury. Like I said, if you would normally rep 12 with 20s, then you can start 22. But if like 20 is your 5 rep max, then don't start on 22, because you're just going to hurt yourself, because there's not much blood flow in the muscles that you're about to use, so that's a risk of injury. But anyway, yeah, they're the 5 methods that you can use to pack on muscle quicker than you currently are. Like